to Funkatopia, WTF, and welcome. We are here. I am your host, Mr. Christopher. This is my illustrious co-host, Mr. Jeff Page. I love when you do that because it gives me a chance.
Gives you a chance to take a drink.
Even though we just started. I know. There's no reason for that. But tonight, we're going to get right into it. And I know that's what you all came in here to see. Not me, not Jeff. I mean, I guess we're part of the equation, but that's all good. We have a very special guest that has some very special announcements, and I cannot wait to get her on here and talk about them. And we even have a surprise or two this evening. But this evening, we welcome the beautiful and insanely talented Mayte Garcia to Funkatopia Live. How are you?
You get ferns too.
Hi, everybody. Hi.
I am so glad you're here. And let me just say, we have a good bit of items to cover, and I want to make sure that we cover everything that you wanted to discuss. But before we get started, just checking in to kind of see how you are and what you're up to nowadays.
Oh, man, a lot. Well, today, it's a special day for me. Everybody knows this. It's Amir's birthday. He'd be 27 years old, which is crazy to me. All day I was kind of like going, whoa. Wow, 27-year-old. I have a 27-year-old. That's crazy. But anyways, I'm teaching class. I'm still rescuing dogs. I'm grooming. I have my own business, which is crazy. Planning a lot of good stuff for the future, which I would love to talk about here.
Yeah, and we definitely want to hear about some of that. And I want to talk a little bit with your dance classes and whatnot, because
Let me say it, because I've been hearing it so much that different people have taken your classes and workshops. Like they're people are talking to me, and I just want to say that they're loving the classes. And people are telling me so much. I'm like, are they trying to tell me to go take a class? Because they just love the class.
We've had some guys, and here's the thing: is I never thought I could teach. And it wasn't until I had an intensive class with a session with this lady who kind of like dumbed it down for me and made me realize, oh my God. So it's just like explaining certain things so that people get it, because the beauty of belly dancing is there's no rules. You don't have to be like, have amazing feet or amazing body or anything like that. It's just about feeling good about yourself and empowering yourself. And I've become so confident that I can make people with two left feet dance. So I'm always bring it. Whoever says they can't, come to my class, because I love it.
They're all talking about it. So
yeah, I love it. It's so much fun. And I'm going to do it again.
Yeah, and I definitely think that would be me, because I know that I read in your book that you like to target the wallflowers in your classes and just kind of, you spot them and you just kind of make them part of it. And I know for a fact that if I was in one of your classes, I would be one of those wallflowers. But,
okay. Yeah. The thing is, because me growing up, I also felt, really shy and nervous and embarrassed and out of place. And I was the one in the back always. And I just remember whenever I went in the front, I was like, man, that felt good. So I always try to grab them and come on, let's go. You're going to feel better. Trust me. So.
Wow. I don't know, man. My belly, I don't know if I want my belly sticking out anywhere.
No, it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Okay.
As many people know, we normally do these shows on Tuesday nights, but thought, we moved it to Monday in recognition of this special day, which is Amir's birthday. Is there anything special that you normally do on Amir's birthday when this comes around every year?
It's and it's also month of miscarriage, and it's a really big month for me. I can never tell how I'm gonna feel. I have gone with Gia and went and had birthday cake sometime. Some years we do that. Some years we just stay home and watch a movie. But it's definitely a day that I take to honor him and remember him, even though I do it every day. But today I'm like, okay.
I can, and I know that you get emotional probably every single year when it comes up.
Yeah.
But since we're talking about Amir's birthday, I've always wanted to ask about a project that some people may or may not know about called Happy Tears.
Mm-hmm.
For those that aren't aware, Happy Tears was a project that was put together by Prince and yourself that was going to be a children's album. And from what I recall, there was going to be like 8 songs, a children's storybook with like 3 stories, and also I think an audio cassette of the book as well that was going to be narrated by Prince and then sung in English, German, and Spanish by you.
Oh, wow. You're detailed.
This is kind of details I was kind of trying to figure out as far as the question I wanted to ask was, how much do you remember about this project, and how much of it do you remember is finished or was finished?
It's finished. We just put it on hold because of, what happened, but it's done. We have the artwork and everything. So, and it's a beautiful story. And I mean, if you listen to lyrics like Savior, she gave her angels, it comes from that little section there. So, I mean, it's I would love to see it come out. I think it's beautiful, and I think a lot of people will enjoy it.
Wow. Okay.
So you don't have any control over whether or not it gets released. This is probably an estate thing.
Well, yeah. I mean, unfortunately, yeah. I mean, it's his name. It was written by him. So, I mean, It wasn't just me, because if it was me, it'd be out.
Right.
But,
of course.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see in the future. I mean, it's not that, that's not going to happen. But right now we're going to work on the most beautiful.
Yes.
By the way, you guys are going to laugh. Everybody's thinking that the movie's coming out right now, but I want to clarify, because my mom even called me 2 days ago. She's like, "Ay, Mayte, I got to get my dress for the premiere." And I'm like, "Mama, no, not yet. We're not even close to there yet. Calm down."
Calm down.
She's like, "I need to get dressed." I'm like, "Oh my God."
We say, slow your roll. We're good. Not yet.
So let's talk about that for a second, because obviously the first thing is congratulations on the newly inked deal. It's turning your fantastic book into a movie. That announcement was made on Friday. Yes. So I had some general questions that I wanted to ask. I mean, because one of the things that people don't understand is that this was just signed into reality just recently. So a lot of these details are not even there. So some people are, like, all these people are wanting specifics, and there really aren't any. But what are some of the things that you are most excited about regarding this movie and how it will be told? I mean, there has to be a vision in place that you have.
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I've talked to the production company several times, and they're very open and absolutely in love with this story. I want to see it come to life. I mean, I think the audible version, and it's crazy because I had never listened to one. And when I did one, I remember the most difficult chapter for me, I remember stopping and I'm saying, I can do it. I remember telling the guy, I was like, I can do it again. I broke down, and he was like, no, that's good. And I was like, oh my God, I felt so vulnerable. But I mean, I'm glad it came out like that. So I'm hoping that is what it's shown, and that it's true to the story. I mean, of course, it's going to be true to the story. I want the love story to be there, and of course, I want you're going to cry, of course, but I think with tears, there's happy tears. So I think hopefully at the ending, you leave the theater with a sense of love. So that's what it's all about.
I mean, were there any initial primary concerns you had before you agreed to do this? Was there any considerations that were going in your mind, like, oof, how am I going to navigate this, that, or the other?
I mean, of course, everybody's always saying, like, who's going to play him? But I mean, I mean, I really would love to, for sure, choreograph it. I want somebody else choreographing my move. So, things like that. Of course, the director and stuff like that. I mean, it's in good hands. So I have a really good feeling that it's going to be an amazing project, and I can't wait to be a part of it.
Awesome. Should I submit my resume?
I've already gotten emails. I've gotten texts from people that I haven't heard from in years. They're like, hey, so this person should play it. I'm like, oh my God. I'm not like that. director. I'm sure they'll ask me for advice, but I'm not the one.
And just so we're clear, we have seen on Twitter there is some people that are distributing a clip from a horrible Reels film that came out years ago that they're a clip from this movie. It is not a clip from this movie.
I remember I couldn't even watch it because the girl didn't even resemble like slightly of me. I was like, what? I can't watch that. I can't. So,
Right.
No. Make sure it's clear. That is not my movie.
We wanted Mayte, and she's more like Kumite.
No.
I mean,
yeah.
So the big questions that people are asking that you're going to continually hear, which is ongoing, and you're not going to know the answers because again, this just got inked. But who's going to play Prince, like you had said? Who's going to play you? And one of the bigger ones, is this going to portray Prince negatively as far as like mood swings or anything like angry moments? So basically, I think a lot of people don't realize that there is still so much love there. And I think that a lot of the nervousness that we're hearing from people is really about how Prince might be portrayed negatively. What would you say to those people to kind of calm their fears about what's going to be happening with this biopic?
I mean, if you read the book, you should know that it's going to relay that. I mean, that's why I agreed to this deal. Is they're really, their integrity. They have integrity, and they're just really in love with the love story. So no, there's not going to be, crazy stuff. I really feel really good about this. So I'm tell people to calm down. It's gonna be great. So
yeah, we are very, very excited for it. And I know that was, obviously I've read the book twice, and I just kind of feel like I don't understand where I mean, you can kind of see and feel the emotional moments that are happening there. And, there were some really, really tense moments that were there, but I know that it's going to be done well because I know that, know your love for Prince and his legacy. So
yeah.
We're just not concerned, but I know that a lot of people are. So,
I mean, with pain comes beauty as well. I mean, loss is loss, and, everybody has to deal with it. And I think it's going to make people love him more,
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I actually have, so that was all that I'm going to talk about with the movie, because again, it's new news. So there are some personal questions I wanted to ask you about that, you reference the book and whatnot, but we have some other important news / announcements to get to that we have. And we also have some special guests that have dropped in. So let's move on to the next big topic and discuss the Love for One Another charity. I know.
Yes.
Now, obviously, you are currently the president of the Love for One Another charity, and I know that you have a special announcement regarding the charity. But before we discuss this announcement, we have two special guests that are coming in for this segment to also
not one, but two.
Not one, but two.
To kind of give a little bit more insight into some of the exciting things that are coming.
Yes.
Okay. First guest I'll bring on. He's been on the show before, and he's become a very, very good friend of mine. We talk quite a bit. Not only is he an executive director of the charity, but he also served as Prince's management during the Purple Rain tour, director of security at Paisley Park, overseeing Paisley Park for a period also. Just a massive entertainment resume. So everyone show some love to the one and only Gilbert Davison's in the house.
He's back.
Hello, everyone. How you doing?
Oh, it's so good to have you aboard. How are you been? I mean, it's so good to see you.
I'm fine. I'm a little bit hurt that Mayte referenced me early because I'm the guy with two left feet she was talking about. But we won't go into that right now.
You did talk about that before.
yeah, right. But so I'm the guy. But otherwise, I'm great. Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here. I'm excited about our news and everything that's going on. So thanks for taking the time with us.
And a little bit of shout out to Shelby J, who is in the audience right now. Hello, Shelby. We all love
Shelby!
you.
What's up, Shelby?
Hi, Shelby.
Sending you love. All right.
Love.
And so our next surprise guest is serving as vice president and treasurer of the charity, but he has been a part of Prince's band as a drummer, percussionist, choreographer, dancer, and very active member of PRN Productions and Paisley Park. Please welcome our second guest, Kirk Johnson, to Funkatopia.
Yes.
I just want Jeff to play me in the movie.
Right. Hey, man.
The young version of Mr. Kirk Johnson.
You know you're going to be in it, Kirk.
Jeff is playing me.
Okay.
It's done. I'm booked.
You just got to cut your hair off. Sorry.
Hey, man, don't they make molds that I can make?
Got to do it for the art.
I want to say hi to all the purple folks out there. How you doing, everybody?
Man, so
Christopher finally has me on camera.
I know. So, Kirk and I have been talking off and on, a lot. I was like, "You need to come on the show." I was like, "No." "You need to come on the show." "No." I was like, "Okay, well, all right."
Well, it's an important piece why I'm here, so I had to be here.
Yes. So Here we go. We got 3 amazing guests on one single show. Even though I knew this was coming, this has been a tough secret to sit on. I'll just go ahead and just tell you now.
It's been,
Yeah. Welcome to all of you. So let's start for Mayte. Let's start at the top. For those who aren't familiar with what the charity does and how it started and the purpose of the charity, and also kind of a little bit about the mission statement of helping people up and helping people out. Can you kind of fill people in about what the charity is?
Well, we started it back in 1996, November 12th to be exact, which is my birthday. We were expecting, and we were in a very just loving, happy mood. We were in that, everything was great, and let's make it great for a lot of people. And I remember him coming into my office, and he came in and he was like, "I think we got to start a charity, a foundation, and we got to call it Love for One Another." And I was like, "Okay, absolutely, sure." And he's like, "And I think Kirk should be in it on the board as well." And I was like, "Of course." And I don't know if anybody knows this, but Kirk, the reason why I met Prince was because of Kirk. So Kirk has been an important person in my life since I was 16 years old, when I went to backstage and my mother handed him the videotape of my belly dancing. And he was like, "Sure, I'll give it right to him." And I was like, "What?" And literally 30 seconds later, he comes back, he goes, "Yeah, give it to him." I was like, "Huh?" So going back to that, so we started it, and it was privately funded. It was him wanting to give. We would do a whole bunch of stuff, planting and donating to different charities, education for children, and all this. And a couple years ago, we were shocked to find out that he had left myself and Kirk on the board for Love for One Another. So we've been researching and doing everything that we can to find out and figure out how we can do this. We changed it over to now a charity, so we are now a public charity, and we've got a lot of stuff planned. I don't want to get into that right now, but we've got a lot of stuff planned.
And I know that there's a special announcement being made regarding the charity, and so we'll share the exciting news. Are you going to divulge this, or is Gilbert going to divulge this? Who's going to be the one?
Are we going to do the video or no?
Do you have the video link? I had just sent it to you, though. I don't know if he has it up.
Yeah, I don't have it right in front of me. I think you just sent it to me via YouTube. So let's talk a little bit more about some of the significant things that the charity is going to be doing here, and I will get it loaded and we'll play it.
That works.
Kirk?
That works.
Gilbert?
Gilbert?
Who wants to go first?
I'll be happy to talk about that. So our mission statement, the new mission statement, when we started looking at the charity, we were looking at what the original intent was. And so the mission statement is helping people up and helping people out. That was the new mission statement, and it was our new sense of direction that we had, because we felt that it spoke to what Prince was trying to do. And as we all found out after, he was very active in his philanthropy, unbeknown to the general public, throughout his career, up until his unfortunate passing. So, when we found out what he had did, which was clearly intentional, on having Mayte and Kirk still on the board, we understood, everyone understands that the complications with the estate were quite complex, let's say. But where the charity was concerned, it wasn't. It was very clear cut what he wanted to do and where he wanted it to go. And that was to Mayte and Kirk. So you look at that, and it's an honor on one hand, but it's also a huge responsibility on the other. And as the story started unwinding on all this activity that he had been doing, it's kind of like the question was, okay, how do we continue that? There's one Prince, and as Mayte had mentioned, and you had mentioned, the prior situation with the charity is it was privately funded. So now we have this responsibility of being able to come against or along with that and say, how do we continue to support communities? How do we continue to support individuals? How do we make that type of impact that Prince did? So in the subsequent years, that's what we've been focused on. That was what we knew our responsibility was going to have to be. And I'm happy to say, through a lot of hard work and diligence, we've been able to establish a sound foundation on being able to do that and moving things forward, and having the wherewithal to do the work that's going to be necessary going forward.
Well, I have the video ready, so let's go ahead and watch it.
All right.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mayte Garcia.
And I am Kirk Johnson, formerly of Prince in the New Power Generation, just so you know.
Yes. And it's funny because me and Kirk have known each other for a long time, and we've never really talked about, like, person to person,
Right.
how we've known each other and for how long.
We've told the story to people. Fans know about it, but they don't really know. We haven't really talked about it.
Yeah.
Just things happen really fast.
Yeah.
So how did we meet?
Well, we met. I was 16 years old. I'm making it short. I'm editing everything. My mother handed Kirk a videotape of my belly dancing because I was a belly dancer.
We was driving in at the concert. During this time, before the concert, we would always go outside and talk to fans. And her mother handed this videotape, in which I never usually take folks' videotape.
Yeah.
Would you give it to Prince? And for some reason, he did. Gave it to him. Before the show, he just showed it to me. And it was Mayte dancing with a sword on her head. And years later, they're married. And I was the best man.
Yes, he was the best man. And then now cut to the important part. I remember Prince walking into my office and saying, I think we should start a charity. And I was like, I'm all for it. What are we doing? Let's do it. And he's like, you started talking about what we were going to do and how we were going to do it. And he's like, I think we should have Kirk involved. And I was like, yeah, let's totally get Kirk involved.
And now we're going to continue it.
Yeah.
We started it and we're going to continue it.
Yes.
In the best light ever. It's going to be awesome. It already really is awesome. There's some things that we haven't told people about, but
yes, we haven't shared a lot of stuff, but now we're actually here to make an announcement. As we all know, life does not come without changes, and it's time to announce a change for us in our journey. Due to circumstances outside of our control, we've had to grapple with a difficult decision to change the name of our organization. It was definitely an initial shock in having to make this decision, but we recognize that it is an opportunity to grow and reimagine the road ahead. So today, we're officially discontinuing Love for One Another charities. As we look in the future, it has become abundantly clear that the name Love for One Another has served its purpose. And it's time for a mantle that is able to carry on the principles, passion, and purpose that will lead us forward. With that, we are pleased to announce that from now on, we will be known as Live for Love Charities.
Coming at you.
Every day since 1996, the foundation of our organization has always been about love. And so while the name has changed, the charity and the mission that Prince and I started together remain the same. Helping people up and helping people out has always been our mission. And we're looking forward to starting this next chapter and building upon the work that you know us for.
Live for love. Coming at you.
All right.
Hey.
There it is.
There it is.
Wow. Okay.
And that came out pretty organically. We figured that we had to change it, and it just came out very organically, and we all agreed upon it right away.
That's awesome.
There was definitely a sense of resonation when we talked about, what if we changed the name? What was that going to be? And like Kirk just said, when we landed upon Live for Love, it spoke to pretty much, it encapsulated everything that the intention of the charity from its inception to currently we're trying to get to. And, where we have that responsibility is not just, giving grants or developing programs, which is what we're intent to do, but it's also that promotion of love, of community for each other. We are doing work. We understand where the fans are at, and we understand the loss that we're all going through with Prince's passing. However, we all have this opportunity to continue with the ideologies that he was passing on, through the charity and through our work and through love. So it's not just about where we're going; it's where we're asking and hoping that we can help fans go to, public go to, general public go to, with our efforts and our work and what we've been doing and what we're promoting.
Yeah, I tell you, it's been quite a journey, because I know that it's been, it's been this way, love for one another for so long. And, I imagine that the evolution of the decision process of wanting to change the name, this is definitely, Live for Love is definitely a lot easier to remember. Not that love for one another wasn't, but it's definitely short and more concise. I think the video kind of touched on it a little bit, but Gilbert, can you kind of share the idea and evolution of that name change and a little bit more into why you're going in that direction? I know that some people are asking that question repeatedly here in the chat.
Sure. No, I'll be happy to speak on that. And, again, as we all know, there were certain things that weren't left in order. And unfortunately, there were some things that were left in order. When we got into the legalities of the charity and just the structure that was there and some things that weren't there, we unfortunately found out that another entity had captured that name, which was, difficult to deal with since the inception of the charity, and the name was in reflection of Amir and Prince and Mayte's intent from that very beginning. So, there was definitely some struggle in letting that go. We tried to work things out, but when we couldn't, and so we found that if we're going to move forward, and just in the spirit again of the charity of Prince's intent, were we going to step into the chaos that was already going on with what the estate had to deal with? What were we going to present to the public at large, with the fans at large? So instead of going down that path, we decided to focus again on the intent of the charity, on the mission of the charity. And we did find solace in coming up with that name, in doing that work, in what we've been able to accomplish thus far. And so when we talk about the charity in those terms, what we've done and where we're going and what we're able to do, it just helps to alleviate letting love for one another go. And as Mayte and Kirk said in the video, we also felt that love for one another accomplished what it was meant to. Prince was always progressive. He was always about change. He was always about moving things forward. And, you know, we can do the same with our efforts, and that's our intent moving forward. It's building upon the philanthropic spirit and the good intentions that he had while he was alive, and then taking that responsibility, we look at it as a responsibility that we're taking on to continue that, expand that, and have it be impactful to communities moving forward.
Yeah, I love the Live for Love name. I think it's fantastic. It's so specific and concise. Kirk, what now? It's amazing to have you on the show. A lot of people have not seen you in I don't even know how long. So it's just fantastic to see you out and about. I got to ask, we kind of got a little bit of the story about how you got involved with the charity, but what does a typical day look like for you in regards to Live for Love, and what are some of the things that you're executing in a period of a regular business day?
Yeah, I think the main thing is, I always have Prince in my head telling me, help the kids, continue the music, help the homeless. We did a lot without people even knowing about it. So that's going to be our goal and our mission is to keep, try to keep music with kids. And, he was really big about homeless and, real food. So those are the things we're kind of focusing on. We're just trying to find those. We have something coming up real soon, actually. I don't know if we could talk about it yet, but I'm excited about it.
Okay.
Doing more for the kids is huge on him. It's like, listen, kids need to play instruments, get off the computers. Yeah, you can do that too, but they need to play. So that's one of the goals for us is to get that, kids instruments in the kids' hands.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've got a question. So we've got this really great name change. I mean, and you can see the comments is just a lot of people think, oh, okay, that makes sense. And it all flows well.
It's in the spirit of Prince. He was all about changing names. So we felt good about that.
So my question I'm thinking is, can any of you actually, I'm sure you speak to the significance of the hand in the logo, because the logo is remaining and that hand has something, you know what I mean? There's some power in that.
That is Amir's hand, guys.
Go.
Okay.
Simple and concise.
Okay. See.
So that is so that was a handprint that was gotten from Amir. That's just
all right. See,
you can't take that away. The estate can't take that away.
That is very, very, very powerful.
I wasn't ready for that. Yeah, see, I don't even get emotional, and I actually felt that. That's. Oh
I do have something else to share, and Kirk, I'd love for you to share it.
Yeah. Well, being that I was working with the estate for a while, and I was able to find. It was interesting. I was able to find Amir's urn, and was able to tell Mayte about that and get that back to her. And I think everybody had, the thought that it didn't exist anymore, but it was pretty cool to find it and get it back to her. So Amir is with the mother.
Oh my! Where? Can I ask a little bit more about that? Where was it located?
It was stored down in the basement amongst a whole bunch of other stuff. So being able to put Prince and Mayte together initially, and then being able to do that as well was meant to be. That's why me and Mayte worked together with Gilbert, and we're going to continue this wonderful journey that he started. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm starting to get emotional. It's like,
That's why I thought it was important to announce it today, because it's such a special day. The name change and what we're planning on doing. Follow our new socials. It's liveforlovecharities.org. I've changed the Facebook. We now have TikTok. We have everything to get you guys, keep you guys informed on what we're doing. We're going to be highly active. Lots of stuff coming up, but I wanted you guys to know this today. So
wow.
Man, we are definitely sending you love, Mayte. I know that's very That's not me, is it?
Just on another note, it's like everybody's background is cool, but look at my background. It's like just whack. I have to be somewhere where I can be heard because there's so much going on out there. I ain't got no gold records, no guitars, no.
Man, I just assumed it was a fake background.
It's a fake background.
This is what happens, man, when you get poor. You just this is my house, right? This little room.
I want to go back and just speak on the significance of Mayte receiving the urn back, and I it's an understatement to say if Kirk wasn't there that may not have happened. Just like it's an understatement to say if Kirk wasn't there, Prince and Mayte may never have met.
Yeah.
If Kirk wasn't there, Mayte and Kirk, or Prince and Mayte may not have been married. He was at the altar with them. And what I mean by that is there has definitely been this undercurrent of beyond coincidence of what's happened with the charity and what we've been able to do with the charity through Mayte and Kirk's involvement. And that's one of the things that I've been excited about. That's one of the things that I've definitely been awestruck about at times. Like these two have been meant to do this mission, if you will. And in talking to them, it's inspiring to feel that from them both, that this is the mission that they are on now, in honoring Prince's philanthropic legacy, and not just in thought, but in action.
Right.
And we've been able, again, to accomplish thus far. We have been running some campaigns earlier. I don't know, some fans may remember during COVID, we did the $100 a day campaign.
Yeah.
We have been donating to various charities. Some of that will be revealing. Some of that you'll be able to find on the website. There's a timeline that's up there now that you can kind of see where the activity is going. I do want to take the time to say I appreciate for those fans that have been donating, those that have been aware, those that have been providing support. We know that you're out there. We appreciate what you've done. We understand that we have a responsibility to you as well in what we're going to accomplish, and we're excited about that. So, and we'll talk about some of the other things that we have coming up very soon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
A good amount of people have been asking in the chats, and it's been going by so fast. I haven't been able to put up there, but a lot are asking, how can we contribute? What can we do to help and be a part of or do something? So can you speak to what people can do to support?
Gilbert? Oh, well, I mean, here's the thing. I mean, you guys know I have a nonprofit, Mayte's Rescue, and I had been doing candles. I actually did one for Love for One Another, but now I got a better one because now I've become a master candle maker. So you can buy a candle. We're going to get sweatshirts because it's going to get cold now. So we're going to get some new sweatshirts. We have some beautiful events coming that you guys can come to. You can donate. We have all that on our website. And then, I'll start doing live feeds and TikToks and stuff like that on the social, so you guys can follow me. And, if I say, get this candle, which I think you should, man, this candle is so good. And I have a video explaining everything. So you can go onto our YouTube as well. It's being creative with purpose. And that's the best feeling ever.
So is there going to be a brand new website, Gilbert? I imagine that there's going to be a whole new setup.
Yes, we wanted to, announce the name on this special day, on Amir's birthday. So that's why we're here on the 16th. We are in the process of doing a full revamp right now. What you're going to see on there is the significance that the name has changed, in that the logo has been elevated to Live for Love. So you're going to see all that. You're going to see a whole lot more moving forward. Again, 2024. I've spoken about this, I think, when I was with you months ago in our 3-hour conversation that we had last time.
My bad.
No problem. But no, so here we are. I mean, this is just the next step or another step in that journey. and it's exciting. We've been able to accomplish a lot since that time, and it has given us again a foundation and a drive and the ability to fulfill these responsibilities. So how the fans, again, like my station said, you can donate, you can purchase merchandise, you can participate in the programs that we're going to be putting together, you can spread the word. But most of all, you can just, it doesn't take a lot for you to do the work that we're promoting yourself, right? It's live for love. It's just acts of kindness.
Right.
Your attitude towards other people outside of what we're doing, but what you're doing in your own communities, to your friends, to your families, to those people that are in need. Prince did it through his philanthropic efforts, but that's really what his music was all about as well. That was what he was constantly promoting in one way, shape, or form. And we're all looking for that way to, how do we honor that memory? And, so that's what we're doing on our end. That's what you can do on your end.
Well said. Well said.
Well said.
So Gilbert, you had actually talked a little bit about a special event that you guys were doing. We talked about it on the phone earlier. Can you talk a little bit about that, about the daily thing, or is that for later?
Wait, what was the daily thing? We have so much going on. What was that one? Was that the December event?
It was a giveaway thing that you guys were doing.
Giveaway thing. I want Mayte and Kirk to talk about the 10 for 10. Or do you want me to do this?
No, you do that. And then we have a music one coming too. It really, you guys is gonna have to follow us because it's gonna be. You're gonna have to follow us. Our
it's
website
all in development. It's all in development.
Can somebody type that in there? liveforlovecharities.org.
Yep.
Because I want you guys to all go to that. And then, our socials are there. Our YouTube is there. I changed. If you follow Instagram, we're just changing the name. So you guys are already following, but, spread the word.
The problem is that we want to do so much. It's just like, what do we do first?
Yeah.
There's so many people that need help. And it's how do we help everybody? How do we, Yeah.
So then I'll speak to basically that.
Gilbert, you went on to 10 for 10.
Okay, and so here's a call to action for you listeners or you viewers and listeners out there, for those that'll pick up the audio. We're going to do what we're calling 10 for 10 program. And what that is we are going to give away 10 awards of $10,000 between, so we're looking for submissions for charities, community activists, anyone that can use that award. You can recommend somebody, you can point us in that direction, but we're looking for 10 recipients of $10,000. So we are awarding the $100,000 in our 10 for 10 program. The recipients will be announced at a charity event that we're going to do in December here in North Minneapolis at the Capri Theater, which has a historic connection to Prince that we can talk about as well. So that's my portion, or our portion, one portion of the thing that we're talking about, that we're looking forward to doing. And part of our ability to do this, again, has been the support that we've received from the community out there at large. And these are the type of things that we'd like to do to impact. It's about impacting communities and persons through philanthropy.
Well, that's fantastic.
Wow.
There's so much going on. I am just so excited about all this stuff. But, again, it's Jeff Page, you actually got you're good. You got the link going across the bottom. So if you're watching the video, you can see it's liveforlovecharities.org that is scrolling across the bottom. So if you want to get involved, you absolutely positively can. And Mayte, where can they get those candles at? Is that the same address there?
We have a shop section in liveforlovecharities.org when you can go there, and then I'm going to connect it to the Instagram. That little shop button that's on Instagram, that's going to be there. We're going to do the TikTok store. It's going to be accessible to everybody, to everywhere, everyone and everyone. Actually, do I have it? I actually have it here. Let me show you. I'm so proud of it.
So the point is start on the website, and then you can get to all the social media and everything else you need from there.
Yeah.
Look at that. Oh, wait, look at that, guys.
Awesome.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And it smells. Woo!
Oh my gosh.
Mayte, what is the scent of that candle
scent?
going to be?
Yeah.
Well, it's a secret. It's in the video that I'm describing it. I use another perfume that Prince used to wear a lot, and I replicated it and I added a little bit more to make it. And it's, man, if people that follow me and bought Haze, this beats Haze. This beats Haze. So,
Well,
and love for one another. The candle, the last one was soy based. This is not soy based. A lot of people, are sensitive to that. So this is a different type material, and it's just better quality. And I think you guys are gonna love it.
Now, is that really thick glass, or is there like a space?
Yeah, it's like a double thingy. It's just really cool.
Oh, I love the wide wicks too. The wide wicks are awesome.
Yeah. The wooden wicks. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to
step it up.
I'm gonna have to show my huge collection of candles over here. My wife is like, "Why do you keep buying candles? You never burn them." I was like, "I do every now and then," but
somebody told me you can put them in like a warm receptacle and the scent comes out. So if you don't want to burn it, you can do that.
no,
I
man.
never thought of that.
Wow. All right. So that is some fantastic brand new information regarding the Live for Love charity, that the name is changing to Live for Love. I want to thank special guest Mayte. Don't go anywhere. I have some other questions I want to ask you, but I know that Gilbert and Kirk are here with limited time, and I thank you guys so much for dropping in, because
Really?
I knew that Gilbert and Kirk and Mayte all being on here, that was going to be hashtag break the internet right there.
Right.
So that's why I had to like really keep it toned down. And obviously, Kirk, you and I have talked before via phone and whatnot. And I would love to
Absolutely.
hear the show, because we've got so many other questions. And I love that this was kind of a little bit of an icebreaker to kind of get an opportunity to talk about the charity, which is a phenomenal thing. And obviously, everybody, I want you to go to liveforlovecharities.org to be able to support them, find out more information, click on the shop, get the candles for Mayte and all that. I am just so excited, and I can't thank you guys enough for coming back.
But
Well, yeah, that's right. Go ahead, Jeff.
you can't let these guys go, because Kirk, I gotta ask you, don't you have a show tomorrow in LA with St. Paul Peterson?
I'm flying out tomorrow morning. I'll be in LA with St. Paul and the Minneapolis Funk All Stars, Dr. Fink, Jelly Bean.
Yes.
Yeah, we gonna funk it up. That's
Yes.
the
Let me know
best.
when you guys are coming to Atlanta or something, because
Yeah, I mean this group of people, it's so amazing and so authentic that we so much love on representing the music.
yeah.
And the cool
I
thing
got you in
about
my
us,
background here.
the cool thing about us is we get to play everybody's music. It's not just NPG, it's not just Prince, it's like we play everybody. St. Paul, Sheila, The Time. I mean, it's awesome.
Jeff,
blend.
thank you for letting us know that. I just had lunch with Kirk about 45 minutes ago. He mentioned nothing about this show whatsoever. So
Kirk.
I know where to come to get news on Kirk.
My focus was just live for love. I got to focus on one thing at a time, and then
I know, like you were in Vegas, and then I get somebody, they're calling your name out in the audience. I'm like, huh? I was home. I was like, what?
See, you guys got to understand, if I'm going to play him, I've got to do my research.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. We'll be at Herb Alpert's club tomorrow, and then I fly right back to Minnesota the next day.
Oh man,
Vibrato. 2 shows at the Vibrato.
I'm gonna have to send Paul a text, because I don't know what it is. He just does not come down this way.
What's that all about?
I don't know.
The noise of the guy.
We'll come down that way. Just find someone that's going to send, give us $2-3 to play, to travel.
We'll find it.
We'll find it.
We'll find it.
We'll be there.
Down here, we'll find it. We got plenty of AT aliens here that will absolutely support that project and get you guys down here to funk it up. We love it.
Chris, I didn't want to get by, and Mayte can talk about that, but we do have a Live for Music program that she's going to talk about as well. And Kirk, do you want to talk just really quick, since he doesn't talk about his shows? about the show that we're planning in at the Capri in December?
At the Capri in December, we plan to once again gift kids. I have a music series called Greats Gone Too Soon that we feature the music from a lot of the greats that have passed away. So we'll be doing a lot of music from Prince to James Brown to Aretha to Whitney to Luther. So it's going to be an awesome show, good variety of music. And my sister's going to cater it. So Whole Soul will be there with the good food.
Mhm.
And it's going to be free.
What?
You gotta bring a toy. You gotta bring a toy. I want
You
everybody
gotta support. You gotta support. Yeah, you gotta support. But we
bring
just
a
want
toy.
to continue to get the name out there.
Yeah, everyone will see the marketing for that coming out, but it's community based. It's our way of giving back to the side community and surrounding areas. So we'll put out there on how you can get on the list to get in and enjoy a free holiday show and just kind of get in the holiday spirit.
Absolutely.
And what's the date of that? What's the date of that again?
We're looking at December 16th. So just mark that on your calendar.
If it ain't the 16th, it'll be the 17th.
Yeah, if it's one of those 2 days, we just have to nail down that day.
Yeah.
Capri Theater, North Minneapolis. Man, they redesigned and rebuilt that place. It's awesome. We're excited.
Yeah.
The home of Prince's first show.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Man, that's gonna be awesome. All right, Gilbert, Kurt, you have anything you want to say before we cut you loose?
I just wanted to thank you to all those true supporters out there. Thank you, and I love you all.
Yeah.
We love you too, Kurt.
Thank you guys. Thank you for coming. Thank you guys.
Thank you, everyone, and thanks for having us, Chris, Jeff. It's nice talking to you guys.
We appreciate you, Chris and Jeff. That's for sure. We really do.
And just so you know, Gilbert has already agreed to a part 2 of that insanely long show.
Really long.
I might need some proof from your listeners that someone wants to still hear more than 3 hours of what I've already said. But I'm happy to come back whenever you'd like.
Yeah, we will. So we're gonna have Kirk. We'll have you on. Gilbert, we'll have you on. It's gonna be fantastic. We'll talk offline. But thank you guys so much for sharing all the information about the new Live for Love charities. Again, liveforlovecharities.org. Make sure you go there, and of course, order Mayte's candles and whatnot. But we still got some more time with Mayte. But Kirk, Gilbert, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you guys.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
So just so you guys know, the candle's going to go on sale by tomorrow. So we had to get the website up and going, but the candle, I'll do the details and all that so you guys can order up tomorrow.
Okay. Are you going to give the candle is it a special name, like the scent? Are you
Live for Love? It says
Oh,
Live
okay.
for
You're
Love.
just keeping the title of the Okay.
Why is this
Okay.
Live for Love?
Oh, okay. Yeah, we couldn't see that before. That's nice. All right. And is it going to be priced reasonably?
Yes. I mean, even though this candle, I mean, the oils, they're not synthetic. They're good and really high quality. The wax is good, and the size is much bigger than the Love for One Another. But yeah, it will be reasonable, so you guys can Christmas, or any kind of holiday, not just Christmas, birthday.
Okay.
All that.
Because my daughter tried to make candles one time, and for whatever reason, I don't know. You obviously are a master candle maker now, but when she was trying, that's not my phone dinging, by the way.
Yeah, and by the way, the money, all of it goes to the charity. It goes to Live for Love. So I made the candle, but it 100% goes to Live for Love.
Gotcha. So that's very, very important to understand when you're purchasing a candle, even if it is a little bit more than you expect to spend on a candle, it is for a good cause. So you got to make sure that is focused. But what I was saying was that whenever we tried to make the candles, we couldn't get the scent to stay. It was like, it would be okay for a little while, but then after it started to cure, the scent just went away. And I kept reading everything. Too hot.
I mean, I'm very generous with my scents. And yes, Christina, I see your post. It was a scent that he wore. So I'm if you read my book, I'm really big into. Oh, don't just dogs are starting to bark. They're hungry. You know, I was a big follower of perfumes back in the day. Still am, but really back then.
I think Chris was trying to get some inside scoop of how you make them so they stay up. You're trying to get the inside on that.
You know, I mean, I did a video. You'll see it in the YouTube. I uploaded it. You guys can see, you know, the making of the candle. I mean, we went and filmed it, and yeah, I think you guys will enjoy it.
Yeah, I know the primary thing is adding a lot of oil to it, and oil, as Mayte will attest, is not cheap. It's not cheap. To get good stuff, it's like not cheap, and I don't even understand the thing. But all right, I got a handful of personal questions I want to ask you, because I've read your book twice. I love it. It's really gives us an insight and a different perspective into Prince. I mean, I think you see so many different books that are out there regarding him, and there's certain books that I really kind of hold up there in high regard. Obviously, Dwayne Tudall's books are phenomenal. Just so much information and so much factual stuff. But then on top of that, to be able to see some of this personal side of him is just fantastic. But to start, what I want to ask is, you know, your father was a military pilot in the Army, right? Mm-hmm. Correct. And and both of your parents, and a Ranger. So, and both of your parents are of Puerto Rican descent. So, and you were born in Alabama.
Alabama. So, my dad was in flight school.
And you spoke about doing a lot of traveling around the world, but Egypt and the Middle East are very heavy influences in your dancing. And I was always curious, what was the fascination that drew you to that? Not just for you, but for your mother also. What was that attraction?
I mean, for me, I don't know about my mom. I mean, she started at a YMCA. She always wanted to be a dancer, and her parents weren't supportive of it. So she found this dance, she made friends, and she loved it. And then when I came around, I just wanted to do it for the lip gloss, because I love lip gloss. And that's the only time my parents would ever let me wear any kind of makeup. But through the years and just evolving, I found a sense of confidence, and I just felt comfortable in that type of dance and that music. It's definitely a past life thing. The older I got, the more I realized, okay, this is some past life stuff that I'm just tapping into. So I'm just going to go with it, you know? Yeah.
Well, I was always just curious, because it's just a transition that was like, it's so unusual.
Yeah. And it's a mixture too. Cause I mean, I studied with all, you know, great belly dance teachers, and, you know, the culture, and seeing people just dancing on the street and parties, and just creating my own style, because I study different types of dancing. So I kind of did like a fusion, so to speak.
Yeah, and everybody loves it, and that's all you get is rave reviews online. I've got to get to one of your shows next time you're in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I know you're here a few times, so I have no excuse to not go. I think there's always been something else. But all right, here's the next question. Prince told you that he believed in 1,000 lifetimes abiding in a modern body. Can you explain what he meant by that?
1,000 lifetimes?
Abiding in a modern body was the quote that you had put in your book.
Oh, yes. I mean, I'm going to Egypt next year, by the way. I mean, hopefully, God willing, if everything works out, we're going to Egypt, and we're going to go and talk about that. You know, we studied a lot about past lives and different people that we felt connected to. So that's what I meant with that.
How disappointed was your mother when she found out that the nude tour was not what she thought it was?
Oh man, that's the only reason we went. So I mean, I'm grateful, because I remember she was like, nude. I'm like, oh my God, he's not going to be nude. Even though for a second I thought, I was like, we are in Europe, and you know, we were Americans, and we're at the beach, and everybody's topless, and I'm like, why is everybody naked here? So for a second I was like, well, maybe he's American, no way. But I'm grateful that she thought that, just like she thought the premiere for the movie was, you know, next week. I'm like, no, Mama, no. So her naivety. How do you say that?
Naivety.
was a good thing.
All right. So when you were performing with Prince, you know, there was a lot of times where you were kind of really scantily dressed and very sensual. Do you feel like there was anything you did while performing with Prince or anywhere else that your mom or dad were probably not comfortable with? Was there some things that kind of rode the line?
I mean, here's the thing. Back then, there was no phones, you know, live feeds. Because my dad would have been all over it, and I would have been like, I can't, you know.
Right. Right.
But I have this thing with my daughter Gia, because like she'll wear shorts, and I'm like, girl, if you're gonna wear the shorts, you better know how to do the entire routine to Peach before you put those on. And she's like, Mom. So, you know, I mean, it was. I was a dancer, and for me, it was, you know, I was performing to the music, and yeah, it was risque. At that era, it was very risque. I was in my 20s. You can be risque when you're in your 20s, you know. That soon ended. You won't catch me doing anything crazy.
I did see a video, and I see some people talking about it in the chat room of the stage dive to No One. I was like, how did she recover from that so well?
Man, you know, adrenaline is no joke. Like recently, I was grooming a dog and he bit me. And it was an accident. It's a dog that I rescued, actually, crazy enough. But he just kind of like, and he got me, and I was like, no, I'm fine. The adrenaline kicks in, and I was like, no, don't worry about it. Don't worry. I left, and I got in that van. I was like, ow,
Right.
ow. You know, but like at the time, I'm on stage with him, and I remember because it was a battle that night. I put it in my book, like, you know, Aerosmith and George Michael, and he was like, funk night, it's on, and we're battling, and I was like, yeah, you know. So I felt the pain afterwards. And it was very, very makeup. Mac C4 was my makeup thing, and I put a lot of it for the next show. You know,
Was that the only time that happened?
Huh?
Was that the only time that happened as far as the stage?
Yes. Yeah, they caught on. It was like, okay, yeah, she's stage diving, you know.
Yeah.
Samantha just
knows.
got bruises on her booty from stage diving. It's true. Yeah. It's true.
I would show that video, but I don't want to. But people can find it. But what the funniest thing that and I'm sorry, it's not funny. It's funny now, but after you stage dove, the thing that caught me was Prince, who just turned and walked away like, oh shit. Like he saw it and he just like walked like.
Did he say anything? Talk to you, tease you about it or something?
No, afterwards he was like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I'm fine. I'm fine." He goes, "Well, you won." I'm like, "I know I won. I know I won."
You won the fuck that. Was there anything that Prince ever sang about you that made you uncomfortable, or maybe that was maybe a little bit closer to the edge of your comfort level? Like, for instance, like, you know, Style is Mayte in the shower, or when you had to sing songs like Mo Better, which is, I think is still, no, it was released.
No, If I Love You Tonight. If I Love You Tonight. No, I mean, it was, we were being creative, and, you know, when you're in your 20s, you're risque, and you're, you know, it just, you're kids, and I had fun, and I don't think I did anything too bad, did I?
No,
not that you can think of. So who is, or let's say was, either way, your hero? You know, the one that motivated you to just keep going even when you didn't feel like it. Just, you know, who did you think of, or what got you going?
Dancing?
With life. You've got so many great things going on, and you're constantly creating, you know, just the whole idea of reinventing and doing things. Where's that motivation come from?
I would have to say my daughter, Amir. I mean, you can't stop. I mean, because if you stop, everything stops. So I've just had this thing since I was a little girl to keep moving forward. And I mean, yeah, I have my moments, you know, I definitely have my moments of I can't anymore. But then I can't stop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wanted to cover one more thing before we let you go that a few people have asked about. It's a little chunk of a section, but I wanted to kind of ask you about this. I wanted to know if you were aware, and we've had a couple of people ask about this, if Child of the Sun is going to be remastered and re-released. Are you aware of that possibility?
I hope so. I mean, it was only released in Europe with Edel. I don't know. I don't know. I can't answer that.
I mean, it's been.
But I have I Love You Goodnight singles. I have a whole bunch of them
Right.
that you guys can get through me. Yeah, that album. I mean, even Kirk was in it. Kirk helped with some of the stuff with the programming and the mixing and stuff like that.
It's very sought after CD. I think the last time I saw it on eBay there was one that was for $199 for the CD. It was like, wow.
Oh wow. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So, and I was reading a little bit about the letter that Prince wrote to you while he was working on this CD, and so I wanted to read it for people because I think it was really special. When I read it, I was just I was like, wow, it was really, really powerful. And so I hope that this doesn't get emotional for you, but I wanted to share this with people that may not have heard it or that may have not had an opportunity to read your book. So my apologies if you get emotional when I read this, but here it is. And I'll actually share the actual text as well. Dearest darling, I'm listening to a remastered version of your album. It's deeper and louder. Much better. Kirk did it in LA. You have the cutest voice. It's your album now. Anything you don't like or you want to fix, I'll give you money. Forgive me for being so distant. I'm just burnt out on the studio and the routine of record making, 16 years of it. I guess I'm ready for a change. World tour, new clothes, new money, hairstyle, car, house. I'm ready to be the symbol. I'm sure you understand. Every rainstorm passes, every earthquake stops, every night brings morning. Please don't ever doubt my love for you. I love you with my soul. No one has ever or will ever get close to my soul. The way you have the way other women want my babies, I just find it funny. My future is all arranged. If they're not your babies, I ain't having none. I wouldn't want them because they were never supposed to be here. Patience is a virtue. I trust God with everything now, even you. If you stay with me, it's because I believe he wants me to be married, a huge, extravagant wedding, and have 2 angels for him. How do you feel when you reread some of these letters? I mean, these are just like, whew.
You know, I mean, I read them, you know, I smile. My soul is warmed knowing that there was so much love. I mean, the miscarriage was horrible, you know, but I've grown and I've evolved, and I smile. I smile at that, you know. Yeah, I mean, it was a beautiful love story, and that's why I shared it with you guys, because I wanted you guys to really know how much love there was, and yeah. But I don't read those letters. I mean, I do, but you know, I also have to move forward and live my life, and I am. So
Where are you keeping those letters now?
Oh, I have them in a safe. I have them in a safe, very, very well protected, next to a dog that you wouldn't want to get next to. It's trained not to eat anything. So,
and I know we discussed the movie already, but you know, is there any way to really kind of capture that side of him for all the world to see? I mean, it's got to be a really special actor or somebody that's going to be in his place to be able to capture the true essence of who Prince was. Everybody here knows Prince is just irreplaceable. There will never, ever, ever be anybody that will ever be able to fill his shoes in any
Right.
way, form, or fashion. We get that. But just how you kind of capture that.
I mean, that's the one problem that I was thinking, but I think the love story will overpower that. I mean, hopefully, get a good actor. You get a good actor. I think it can be done, I mean, that's what
Well,
they do. And
for
I
sure.
truly believe that. And if they live in that moment and really, I think it could be beautiful. So, I mean, yeah, it's not a movie on him. I mean, he's of course in it, but I think the story will be more. That's the part that I really, really want to portray and not, make it weird.
Right.
That is a very
I-
high hurdle. Yeah.
Yeah, whoever plays that role.
And
will-
it's not. I mean, the thing is, that nobody's gonna. I mean, even though Bohemian Rhapsody was amazing, that casting for Freddie Mercury was amazing. Well, how did they find that?
Right.
So you never know. You never know what's out there. And I'm open to it, and I'm keeping an open mind and an open heart, and I have faith that it's going to be beautiful.
Yeah. Same way for Elvis, I would say. It was just like how long
Right?
It took a long time, but
Yeah.
it happened.
Yeah.
Well, it has been absolutely positively amazing having you on the show this evening.
Cool.
Anything else that you wanna close with in regards to the charity or the film, or anything you want to close with or share?
No, I'm excited to see everybody. It's been a minute. I will definitely go on more often. It was just doing some stuff and putting things in line so that, I gotta do what we gotta do, help people up and help people out. And we've been doing it. So I'm excited about that. And, also creatively, you guys will see a lot of stuff soon. So it's nice to see everybody, the good and the bad. Because everybody has opinion, but that's
It's the reality.
it's the reality.
Yeah, I will say that I obviously was a little bit nervous that we were going to get a little bit of it was going to be a mixed bag, but I'm glad that most of it was kept at bay. So
Yeah.
it was really, really great to have you again. And again, definitely a huge shout out to Gilbert Davison and obviously Kirk Johnson for stopping in to talk about the amazing Live for Love charity, the renaming to Live for Love. And again, if you have any more information, liveforlovecharities.org. You can find a bunch of information there. And it was such a blessing having you here. Thank you so much for
Really,
joining.
thank you
So much for having me.
All right. Everybody, good night.
Yeah.
Good night. Thank you.
Bye.
Good night.
Good
Oh,
night.
gosh. That was
That was
fantastic.
wonderful.
I
It was
can't.
wonderful.
Yeah,
There we go.
Yeah, I always have to just make sure because it seems like I'm always a little bit angled this way and whatnot, so I want to make sure that
Let me get my angles right. Yeah. So that was amazing. That was great. I really enjoyed that. It was the charities is just awesome. I mean, everything they're doing is just that's good. I like that.
Well, and here's the thing, we talked a little bit about in the pre-show. We talked a lot about the expectations for the movie, and there was just so many people that were very, very upset.
Yeah, they
this
were.
movie even being made at all, which is a difficult thing to hear because it's like, I was thinking, and I was actually looking behind me of all the books that have been written about Prince since his passing. I mean,
Right.
Chick Huntsberry. Well, actually, Chick Huntsberry passed away, but his wife took all of his stuff that he had actually written biography-wise. Chick, who was his bodyguard, his huge bodyguard from Purple Rain. The book White Slave. You had Brown Mark's book. There were so many books that were released. And this one in particular from Mayte really just, I think it kind of gave, and surprisingly enough, even those other books really kind of gave some negative viewpoints of things of Prince also.
Mhm.
I thought the way that Mayte had done it was more of a relationship. It was like, this is an emotional thing that's happening,
Right.
and that happens with every marriage.
Right.
And it's I see a lot of people saying it. It's
Well-
my story to tell. I don't, and I realize she is going to do it. It's not going to be what you guys think it is. And I know that is a tough hurdle. And I don't really know a whole bunch about this production company that they chose in Atlanta. But man.
Mhm. Yeah, I think it's just the bottom line is it's her perspective and it's her life. And people can write brilliant things. And when it's one thing to write about someone, but it's another thing to write about your life and your scenario with someone. Is that, if that makes any sense? And like you mentioned some of those books, and some were, about, and others were my experience. And the ones that are my experience are always going to be better for whether it's good information or surprising information. We'll just put it that way, because again, it humanizes people. And those who only want the fantasy, well, they can have that fantasy, but don't hang around, the quiet interviews and read the stories. Then just keep living the fantasy. So.
Yeah, they were asking the name of the I don't have it up in front of me. I for some reason I'm drawing a blank, but we
Which
can
one?
pull up the link, the name of the production company in Atlanta. And from
Oh,
what I understand, what I had read, most of what they've done has been, biographies and documentaries and things like that. So I don't know how much they actually have done movie wise. That's in their repertoire or in their resume. But I can only imagine that this is a very, very, very daunting task. Crazy Legs, Lisa, thank you. The name of the company is called Crazy Legs in Atlanta. And so I assume there's going to be a lot of recording here in Atlanta. So we'll see that. But one of the things I wanted to make sure of was that I did not want to get into a whole entire discussion about the movie because there's not a whole bunch known
yeah, how can you? It's all speculation at that point.
Yes, Suzanne mentions there was Kim Berry's book.
Mhm.
He's written a book. Torre has gotten like is 2. And some of them are just, Sheila's book was fantastic because it really didn't focus. It obviously talked about Prince, obviously, but Sheila had so much of a career before Prince ever got to her, working with a laundry list of amazing artists across the board before Prince. And that was how Prince discovered her, was just, they're like, who is this woman that's on percussion that's killing it? So she had a big, a huge story to tell. There's so many books. Wally's book. Thank you, DJ Danny G. Wally's book is out there. There are so many books. And I think I have almost all of them because I am just like, I'm a sponge for any information regarding Prince. And a lot of people get on my case because I don't remember small details or I don't remember specific details because just Dwayne Tudor's books alone. I think I got one over here. This is one of Dwayne Tudor's books and how thick it is. And if you look, we had actually laughed about this last time I had Dwayne Tudor on the show, but this is the second book of his. And if you can see all the folded over pages of things that I wanted to remember and document that I had read in this book. And that's just one huge book that is, almost 700 pages long. And there's just 2 of those. It just doesn't make sense. I have so many books that I've read of Prince. I've read Mayte's book twice. The second time being this past week because I was like, she's gonna be on the show. I really kind of want to, do a refresh because I read it when it first came out and then now. So I get it. There, people want to tell stories, and
Mhm.
Every single one of them was released after his passing. Well, I know that there
Right.
was a bunch of books that were released while he was there, and he had a huge problem with that because
Right.
this stuff was filled with inaccuracies. And the problem is that when you release a book after his passing, there's no one to say
There's no one. Right.
that's not true. That's not.
That's not true. Is that true? Why'd you say that? And no. And it is. It is what it is. What's printed is printed. Unfortunately, now.
I felt like when I was reading Mayte's book that there was a lot of integrity there. I didn't. Sometimes when you read a book, you can go, "That's bullshit. That's not right."
Right.
You know,
Absolutely.
normally you can. We all have that BS censor, but there
Yep.
was a lot of things that I felt like, you know, there's a lot of I just felt like there was a lot of integrity there, and looking forward to the movie. So glad to have her on board, and oh my God, Gilbert Davison and Kirk Johnson were also on the show. Davison, Kirk Johnson, who hasn't done an interview in a very long time,
In a very long time.
and Mayte all on one show.
Boom.
And yeah, that's a really good question. Donna Murphy brings up a good question. Does Mayte have to get permission from Princess Estate to use his music? Actually, partially yes and no. That actually that part of it belongs to Primary Wave, who seems to be very, very loose and willy-nilly with the release of his music. I am hearing
Right.
Prince music more often in commercials and TV
Right.
shows
Yeah.
and movies than I have in forever.
They're making that sync license money.
Well, because right shortly after his passing, I know Spike Lee had done that movie. What was it? Black Klansman. That was, that had "Mary Don't You Weep" at the very end of the end credits of that movie, and then shortly after, what was the movie that was kind of very James Bondish? The I can't remember the name of it, but it's very James Bond. The something gentleman. No, what was the name of it? But there was a car scene in the very, very beginning of it was a fight that was happening inside of a car, and somebody happened to kick the radio during the fight, and Let's Go Crazy came on. So there's this car driving, there's a fight happening in the car, and Let's Go Crazy is playing. What is the name of that? It's like set in England or something. Oh, somebody's going to help me. Kingsman. Thank you, Melina. Kingsman.
Somebody had it. Good.
The second movie of the Kingsman, and yeah, there was a fight in a car. So you want to see it. It's really kind of good because they play the song almost in its entirety, and there's a fight that's happening in a car, and Let's Go Crazy is playing, and there's. Because I remember I did a date night and went to go see that movie, and I was like, cool, all right, great. But now it's like it's out there. Thank you, Marilyn. Marilyn also brings up a very good point that Baby Driver was also in there too. Yeah, there's tons of royalty. So I'm thinking that it's going to be very, very easy to get usage of Prince's music. I think you can't. I know that I had a friend of mine that was trying to make a documentary of Prince's life, just kind of telling a story. There's already been done many, many times before, so I think it was kind of, he couldn't get the funding to pull together for it. But yeah, the music part of it, he was going to we're going to have to do it without his music. And I was like, then what's the point? Don't he? Yeah, it's like so difficult. Sybil, I haven't seen this yet. Sybil on YouTube says Push was
about, I was seeing that
hour ago. Oh my God. So yeah.
One of the football, one of the series, it was Willing and Able was out. I don't remember.
Don says musicology was in NCIS New Orleans, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Oh yes, let's talk about this for a second, just for a moment. There's a movie coming out about Jesus. It's not really about Jesus. Yeah, I've seen this. It's not about it. It's set in biblical times, and I don't know the name of the movie. I'm with you, Val. I can't remember the name of the movie, but it's set in biblical times, and there is a guy who sees Jesus do his miracles, and he wants to be famous like Jesus. So therefore, he starts kind of doing all these. He's trying to set up these different types of situations where he'll be the talk of the town or whatever, but they're using "I Would Die for You," a kind of really weird version of "I Would Die for You" that I saw in the promo, and I was like, don't know. I don't know how that's going to be. It's those borderline kind of thing.
Yeah. Like, okay, well, you're gonna get those too. You're gonna get those. That's okay.
Yeah, they said "Let's Go Crazy" was in Sing too. Yeah, all you guys are just, basically proving my point is that getting access to the music now through primary wave is actually getting a little bit simpler.
Right.
And speaking of which, I saw somebody had sent this to me. Actually, who sent this to me? We saw it on Rocket Pool, but I think somebody had sent this to. Why is it saying remove? Oh, I'm just going to remove it and then put it up here again. This is from Rocket Pool. Atmos release delayed. And this is a message that Rocket Pool is the company. I can't remember. I think they're in London. They're somewhere in the UK, and they do a lot of Prince releases. They do a lot of box sets. And it says, this was just out today. It says, we have just been informed by Warner that due to delays connected to the final Atmos mix of the Diamonds and Pearls album, the release date is now the 24th of November. This does not impact the other formats, which will still be released October 27th. If you place an order for multiple versions, we release your order and send the Atmos on when it comes at our own expense. We apologize on behalf of Warner Music and the Prince Estate for this delay. I spoke with, I reached out to Dwayne Tudall about this. I said, is this in the box set? Is this Atmos thing in the box set? Because I just need to know for my own, because I ordered the Super Deluxe box set, which I will be doing an unboxing, assuming this is not causing effect by me. I will be doing an unboxing of the Diamonds and Pearls Super Deluxe box set, the CD version, on October 31st.
That's right.
So we'll be doing a Halloween special. And it is, I'll be doing an unboxing, but I asked him, I said, is this Atmos version affecting it on, Perry's talking about that movie about Jesus, the Book of Clarence. I forgot. I'm trying to.
I don't know if it's in that set. That's a good point though, because if that's delayed, the whole set has to be delayed. Otherwise, you're not getting what you should have.
Dwayne said, I'll pull up what Dwayne had said to me. So I also just got a text message from Kirk. He wants to send his love and thank everybody for being cool for him being on board. We love having Kirk here, and
absolutely.
Just anyways, Dwayne said the Atmos version of the Diamonds and Pearls album I don't think is part of the box set. The Atmos mix of the Glam Slam is, but the remastered version is on this Super Deluxe edition, but I don't think there is an Atmos mix of the actual album advertised as being on this Super Deluxe edition. So if you order the box set, this shouldn't affect what you have going on. This should not affect the Super Deluxe, but I heard the Atmos version is really insane.
Yeah, and those of you who don't understand what that is, it's the next level of beyond stereo. It's a wider palette, so to speak. It's 3-dimensional space now, so you can play sounds above, below, and not just the little 7-1. It's 9-1, or it's more 3-dimensional, so you can really separate the noises, the sounds that you're listening to. That's kind of what the point is. And
it's also like a very surround, just like
it's a full on, like I said, 3D. It's like 3D sound. That's what it is.
It was something I was going to say, and I can't remember what it was now.
One of the killer studios here, Soul Asylum Studios. They mix in Atmos a lot. Those guys are awesome. And not that I'm trying to, shout out studios and get others mad, but they're some of my favorite people. So
And just so we're clear, I see a couple of people talking about, oh, it's so expensive, the deluxe. I'll say it again, and it's still this way as of yesterday. I don't think it's changed. You can get the super deluxe edition. If you're an Amazon Prime member, you can get the super deluxe edition of Diamonds and Pearls for about, I think, what was like $50 less on Amazon through Amazon as compared to the store. And for the record version, I want to say it was like $100 less on Amazon. And here was the reasoning why. The reasoning why was primarily the shipping, but there was two things. First off, Amazon's selling it at a discount. I can't remember what the discount, it was like 15 or 20% discount on it.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever reasoning that discount was not reflected on the store.prints.com. So you get a discount right out of the gate. The second thing is, if you're an Amazon Prime member, you get that second day air for free right out of the gate. Whereas on the store, you had to pay, like, it was a lot. It was
for shipping.
For the next day, it was like 60 or bucks or something like that.
70 bucks, some number.
So it's just not, we do anything to support the estate. And let me just say,
they still get paid.
We've had this discussion when this happened with the Sign of the Times box set release too. We had the exact same discussion that it doesn't matter where you purchase it from, the estate is going to get their money.
Right.
They get a little bit more money, but why would you do that? You're not taking money out of you're not taking money out of people's pockets. I mean, yes, it's going to be less. You're going to save money, but the reality of it is that they're still going to get paid from Amazon. I mean, that's just the truth of it.
Right.
This is more, that money is actually more handling than anything else. So if you guys want the link, I think the link is still up there. It's Funkatopia, FUNKATOPIA.com/DP is the link to the CD version of that will save you $50. You can also change the version when you're on that link, but Funkatopia.com/DP will take you to the reduced pricing on Amazon. Plus, on top of that, you get free shipping if you're on Amazon Prime.
And DPV for vinyl.
Correct. Thank you for remembering that. Yes. So if you do want the vinyl, it's Funkatopia.com/DPV. There it is right there. But you can't do that through, if we ever posted the link on Facebook, you can't do it on Facebook. For whatever reason, when you click the link on Facebook, Facebook adds some tag on the end of it, which breaks the redirect over to the Amazon page where you can get those discounts. So just type it in. FUNKATOPIA.com, like you see, /DP. Yeah. So really cool to be able to share that information with you, because we all need to save some cash,
right?
Because we got to be able to buy candles from Mayte.
We got to get our candles. I'm not really a scent guy, like buying scent kind of guy, but I can appreciate if, when something is worth appreciating. But my thing is, everything is so strong to me. Like, I guess it's like a hypersensitive thing. It's just really strong to me. Even if it smells good, I'm like, whoa, not that it's bad. It's just, strong. So
yeah, it's,
yeah,
I like, it depends. I love incense, but whenever I burn incense in my office, I have to have a window open because I will die. Because incense is just so freaking strong. It's like
too much.
Breathe. It's just too much. It's just too much. Yeah. So
I do like the idea of what did you say, in hot water or something? I never thought of that. So I would assume that if that's whatever you infusing that way, it's probably not as strong. So I never considered that. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah. Well, it is a thing.
It's a thing.
Yeah. So love for one another, charities.org. I wish they would
live for love charities.
I love for love. What I did, I just said the old one. Live for love charities.org. And the number 4, live for love charities.org. That's the new charity. They're kind of moving things around. And Yeah, it's there you go. It's right. We got it. If you're watching the video, it is streaming. And what I realize is that I did not turn on the radio.
Oh,
I just realized I did not turn on the app the whole entire way.
oh, that's horrible.
It's okay. All right.
It is.
Everybody kind of came in anyways, because you can obviously see by the numbers that everybody just kind of migrated over here. My apologies if you're used to listening on the app. I screwed up. That's okay. It's perfectly all right. Tomorrow, this broadcast, if you missed any part of it, if you missed Mayte, if you missed Kirk Johnson, if you missed Gilbert Davidson, all of them were on the show tonight. Insane.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, oof, what a show. You will be able to listen to this entire broadcast tomorrow on Spotify, on iHeartRadio, on Apple Music, on Odyssey, wherever you listen, you can listen to the podcast tomorrow, the audio version. The video will forever live in posterity on Facebook and also on YouTube, so you can watch it there as well. I typically do shave off the pre-show and the news depending on what's going on. I mean, this news really isn't, that arduous, so it's fine.
Wait, Cammy says don't use warm water. I'm not supposed to use. See, will I die? What?
Don't use warm water for what?
For the candles, for the candle thing. She says don't use warm water. What
would you use warm water for with a candle?
Aren't you supposed to, like, that was the other thing? If you want the candles, you can put them in water and let the scents. That's what you weren't even listening. You're just looking at me like the.
So this is kind of like, okay. No, I do remember her saying you can actually heat up the candles, but I was thinking more of like those, they're not diffusers. They're actually specific.
Oh, a candle warmer.
You can use. I've never used warm water. That just seems, that's like a whole process.
I'm so fired.
A candle warmer makes a whole bunch more sense than warm.
I thought you put the jar in a candle thing and you're like,
what the hell are you talking about? I don't. Okay.
Everyone's like, what?
I mean, because how would even warm water even?
Just leave me alone, man. Leave me alone. Where I come from, man, we put everything in water. Shit.
Alana says that's the ghetto.
Getaway.
I did not say that. I'm reading.
Okay, all right.
Elena says it's like tea or coffee warmer. I've just never. How does it? I just don't think that warm water would be warm enough to kind of make it melted enough to release the scent. I don't know.
All right. I mean,
so is that the candles that Mayte was talking that she's selling, the Live for Love candles, those are really thick. I mean, when she was holding it up, that bottom of that was like probably about 2 inches of glass.
I would put that in water. I would put that in water.
Candle warmer makes sense to me because you just kind of, I was thinking the other day, literally just yesterday, but it wasn't about scents more as it was about flavors, because my daughter is obsessed, and I've become a little obsessed too with a drink called ice. You ever had this stuff, ice? It is so they sell it at Sam's Club, they sell it at Costco, they sell it everywhere. Basically, it's zero sugar. It's got vitamins in it, but it's zero sugar. And it's just not in 0 calories. It's like, but it's really, really good. And they come in different flavors, orange and mango and everything else. And I think that was the thing I was freaked out about was like, how scents and flavors. It's like, how do you make something smell exactly? When you're in the candle shop, it's like, when you're smelling the candles and they say, this is hot chocolate. How the hell do you make it smell like hot chocolate? What? It's like, how do you,
maybe they taste it.
Recreate the smell? It's like, okay, it's a little bit sweet, so we got to add this. You're adding what? What are you adding to make it smell that way? It's
a different smell.
But what's the smell? Smell. It's just, how do you make a smell? I don't understand. How do you make it taste a certain way or smell a certain way? Even simple as lemon. They don't add lemon. it's some type of chemical, some type. Okay, Elena says infused oils. I get it, but how do they make those oils? It's crazy to me.
I can't even say anything.
There are no oils for hot chocolate.
I can't even comment because I'm never gonna live down this whole melting candle or water candles. So
Infused oils. It's like, where do you get infused oils for hot chocolate? Where do you get?
yeah, how do you,
I don't understand. I don't understand how they recreate scents in a
yeah,
lab. It's like, what is happening? It's so weird. I don't know.
become a chemist?
I guess you got to become a chemist to truly understand, but it's just so weird how they're able to craft a scent with chemicals.
Mr. Christopher, it's not rocket science. It's chemistry.
It's it's not rocket surgery.
It's not rocket surgery.
Mm.
Mm.
I don't know. I had to take a drink of water. Yeah, it's just
This is
weird.
my no name brand.
Yeah,
I just didn't want to advertise someone else's.
I'm
I don't
okay.
want us to get sued.
If Ice wants to hook me up, I didn't say anything bad about it. Ice is great. We
If you want to know what I'm drinking, it's the one that it's Core.
Core. I like the reason why I like Core is because it's got a really wide mouth on the top of it. So if you wanted to like add Crystal Light or add something to it, it's really well. It's not like a whole process. But if you wanted to add like a slice of lemon into it or something, it's much easier than kind of wedge it into a small.
It's got a big hole. I get it. I get it.
Is that why you buy it, Jeff?
That's
Is that truly why you buy it?
This would break.
Sure it would. Sure it would. All right.
Yeah. I'm done now.
So yeah, just a couple of little announcements. It was really, really cool. For those who missed it, this past Wednesday, I got an amazing opportunity to interview the incredible Mayte Gray. Mayte Gray was on the show this past Wednesday, and it was really fun to do.
Yeah.
We did not do it live because it was just a really, really limited time, and I thought that we were going to get a little bit more time with her, but literally as I was doing the interview, it was like 2 minutes to go, 1 minute to go, and I'm like, yeah. Anyways,
yeah. And she was here in Atlanta, and we went to her. Stop! Don't look at those. And we went to her show in Atlanta, and that was awesome. And we got to talk a little bit more. And we'll have her back. We'll have her.
And we need to do a review of Mayte Gray's show so that you guys get a little bit of an idea of what you can expect when you go see her. If you are a fan of Mayte Gray, you have to check it out. All right, here's something I did not know about Mayte Gray. I didn't know how tall of a woman this person is.
Right.
For those who don't know, Mayte Gray has that really small voice. You know, it's just she's got that really small voice. But then I come around the corner, and even from the stage, she doesn't look that tall. And then I come around the corner, and this woman is 6'1". She's like over me.
She's looking down.
Picture I'm 5'11", and she had to come over and bend over to take a picture with me.
Wait, you're 5'11"?
Yes.
I thought we were the same height.
How tall do you think you are?
I'm 5'8". I know how tall I am. I'm 5'8 1/4".
Yeah, no, we're not the same height. I'm 5'11". I only know that because just like last month.
Wow.
Just last month I was measured.
Puberty.
I mean, maybe I'm like subconsciously crouching over when I'm with you so you don't feel bad. I don't know.
That's what. And I'm like trying to get taller. I'm wearing my heels.
Oh, let's see. Melena wants me to play Lenny Kravitz's new video, TK421. I would love to.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want YouTube to kick everybody off and Facebook to kick everybody off. Definitely check out the new Facebook. I mean, the new YouTube video for Lenny Kravitz. It's really, really good. And there's another artist that I have not posted about, and I'm going to. I'm actually going to be scheduling an interview with him because he is phenomenal. And I don't know if anybody has ever heard of this guy or not. There's a guy named PD Williams. Look it up on Spotify. I'm telling you, you will not regret it. P as in Paul, D as in Daniel. That's his name. Paul Daniel Williams, PD Williams. And he's got a brand new album out. I think it's his debut album called Love, Funk, and Soul. And his influence is really heavy Stevie Wonder. And it is phenomenal. Oh my gosh. PD Williams is phenomenal. I love this album. I've already listened to it about 4 times. It's incredible. I reached out to him on his Bandcamp, says we need to talk. I know that people don't know who you are, but we need to change that because this album is incredible. You got to check it out.
And you know what? I will say this, and I know we're, whatever, but there's a buddy of mine who's actually in the chat. His name is Joshua. Okay. And he actually has an album that is pretty good too. That's out. It's called The Audio. And I was actually pretty surprised. Not saying that you can't create music or nothing, but you never know, what you're gonna get. And I got his album and I've been listening to it, and there's records I go back to, and I don't do that a lot.
Why did you say it like that? Is it AHHDIO?
The Audio, yeah, AHHDIO.
So like this audio show.
Yeah, The Audio.
Okay. Yeah.
So, not that we're trying to plug people and all that, but
Oh, we are. I mean,
shout
because
out to people who create.
Want people to hear new music, and I'm getting more into that.
We have more records. Yeah, we more stuff to review, anyways. But yeah, his album's pretty good too. So just thought I'd put that out there.
A lot of great music that is out there right now. We need to get back into doing the show that we were doing before. We're kind of helping people discover new music, but there's a couple of them right there. Joshua Ok's Audio and PD Williams' Love, Funk, and Soul. There's 2 that you need to check out. And I see some other people mentioning some stuff. And anyway, great stuff. Listen, tonight was a phenomenal show. We had a great time, but get this. We have another show tomorrow night.
That's right.
Yes. 2 shows back to back. It is, I don't know why it's just like this. We wanted to make sure that Mayte got on the show to celebrate Amir's birthday today. So we did this. Tomorrow night, we actually have another show. It is a Diamonds and Pearls celebration. We're going to be talking about the Super Deluxe box set. And tomorrow night, we will have Tony M from NPG, Scott McCullough, who was on the show like about a month ago, where he was the director and camera operator for most of the Diamonds and Pearls videos, with the exception of Diamonds and Pearls, I think. But he did like a lot of the stuff, Violet, the organ grinder, all that stuff. Scott McCullough is going to be there, and Robia Scott, who was Pearl, when the 2 Diamond and Pearl. So Tony M, Scott McCullough, and Robia Scott are going to be on the show tomorrow night, same time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it is going to be
come hang with us.
Yes, another show. So, and also be sure, if you're on YouTube, just click on like and follow us on subscribe. Subscribe to us on YouTube. On Facebook, follow us. So that way, if we're ever doing a show and you happen to be out and about, you'll get the alert and we'll let you know when we're doing another show. But this is happening. These 2 shows back to back is 2 really, really big shows. Tonight, we had Mayte. For those who missed it or just tuning in and are like, what's going on tonight? It wasn't just us yammering. We had Mayte on the show. We had Kirk Johnson on the show, and we had Gilbert Davison on the show. All 3 of them were on the show tonight. And tomorrow we have Tony M from the NPG, Scott McCullough, and Robia Scott, all going to be here tomorrow. We're going to be sharing stories about Diamonds and Pearls, the creation of it, some stories from behind the scenes, everything that was going on. Yeah, it's going to be insane. I can't believe it. It's just too much. It's too much.
It's a lot. It's awesome. It's how it should be.
And then we're going to probably take a break unless something else comes up. Oh shoot. You know what I forgot to do? It's all right. Mark Webster my apologies. I did get your email, but I or your text. I totally forgot. My apologies. But we'll talk because Mark Webster will probably come on the show. We want to talk a little bit more about everything that's going on in his life.
Awesome.
Yeah, man. There's so much going on. So
I can't wait.
Anyways, yeah, it's a good question. Orion's Dream says MPG was working on new music. Where is it? It's I know there was a couple singles that were actually recorded and done, but I don't know what came of it. There may have been a lot more done, but not fully clear. I probably should have asked, but that probably should have been a Kirk Johnson question. But anyways, well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. It has been a great night. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow night. Again, Tony M, Scott McCullough, and Robia Scott all here tomorrow for a Diamonds and Pearls celebration party. It's going to be a lot of fun. And thank you so much to Mayte, to Gilbert Davison, and to Kirk Johnson for showing up tonight. I can't even express my gratitude for all the people that did what you were supposed to do. And
thank you.
And
thank you.
And kind of kept, there was still some stuff.
Yeah, there was still some stuff, but most of you kept the love and stayed grown.
Yeah, stayed grown folk. So good night, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. And this is Funkatopia Live. I am your host, Mr. Christopher. This is my co-host, Jeff Page.
Now, one more time.
Yeah, that was slow. You got to be quick. Got to be like on the money. When I say Jeff Page, you just got to go right into it. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm blown away by the candle warming thing. I'm still.
I'm gonna have to try the warm water thing because I don't
know.
I don't even understand. So, good night, everyone. Thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow night right here at Funkatopia Live. Good night, everyone.